and welcome to the Whimsical Wealth Activation. I'm so glad to have you here. This is a 7-day journey designed to expand your money magnetism. Each day, we're going to explore a new pathway of abundance through channeled messages from your future self. When I tuned into your energy field today, this is what came through. I saw a castle, so think medieval times, but the gate to go inside was closed. So you and I are standing in front of the castle, and you said, I feel like I need to scale the walls. I said, oh, like Batman? And you said that would work, and you pulled out a grappling hook, and that's one that you would shoot in the air, and then it hangs on to the side of the castle, and you pull yourself up. I said, okay, before we do that, do you know why you want to pull yourself over? Because intentions are important. I said, what does this castle represent to you? You said, well, I know there's treasure inside, but I don't want to take it away from anyone else. So we don't want to invade said castle and steal the treasure. And I looked at you and said, well, that's kind of coming from a limited supply belief that there's not enough for everyone in the castle, or on a greater symbolism, the world. And I said, you're not taking away from others by requesting a portion for yourself. I asked, whose castle is this? And you started checking around in your pockets and pulled out a deed. And so it's a document saying that this castle is actually yours to begin with. And you looked at me and said, well, how would I have forgotten this? I said, well, let's do a life review. We're going to backtrack our steps. As I'm looking at your memories, I said, it seems like we have been on a long journey, like a hero on a quest. You said, yeah, I have been through so many story arcs, I forgot where home was. Then I saw you battling bandits, like out in your explorations. And the bandits represent negative experiences that you have had with money in the past, or limiting beliefs that we have been actively working on releasing. I said, oh, we got disconnected from the source of where we first began. As an energetic being full of infinite potentiality and our access to the treasure that we hold within. I said, do you think there's an easier way to get into the castle? Like less effort than scaling the walls. He said, well, I suppose I could find a key. And I said, okay, well, that definitely would be easier. I said, but that's giving the energy of having to still put in effort by searching for something, like searching for an answer, searching for a solution. I said, what would be even easier? And you said, envisioning myself already in there. And when you said this, we projected into this massive bedroom, okay, your bedroom inside of the castle. You said, I did it. And I said, yes, you did. And you started looking around and said, but where is the treasure? And you turned and saw a mirror and looked at yourself within it. And you were glowing all of this gold energy from your body and your auric field, or your energy field. And you said, oh, I am the treasure. I was trying to find me all along. I said, yes, just like with the castle, when you recognize it's already within you instead of outside of you, it's easier to access. And so I said, let's look within ourselves. And you closed your eyes, and maybe you want to close your eyes now if you're not driving. Okay. You can close your eyes. And I said, what do you see? And you said, I see diamonds and rubies and pearls. I see my gifts, talents, and my abilities. I see me supporting myself and others. I see how my presence is making the world a better place. And when you opened your eyes, you had a stack of money in both of your hands. And you said, how did I get this? And I said, if you can see it in your mind first, you can then hold it in your hand. That's how it materializes. And journeys like these with our channeled message help it feel more real because of the emotional response that it brings up within us. When we rewrite our stories, our reality around us shifts. Keep on envisioning what it is you wish to see while recognizing it begins within you first. Then the external will follow. And a fun fact, while I was writing that last sentence, this giant yellow butterfly was like flying near my face and over the paper for the channel message. And so your future self said, look out for the synchronicity of seeing yellow butterflies. It'll be a reminder of our journey today and the treasure you hold within. Some self-reflection questions that future self would like you to ask yourself. If you discovered a new wing or hallway in your inner castle, where would it lead you? Next question. What's one rich in spirit activity you do that makes you feel luxurious, even if it doesn't cost anything? So we want to invite these reflections to fuel your imagination today and get ready for day 2's activation tomorrow, where we'll keep expanding the flow of abundance.